So, standard tuning, capo at the 4th fret. Let's just start from the intro, which is like the verse with a little difference. Okay, so first chord G, second finger on the 3rd fret of the low E, 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the B. One of the things about the chords in this song is that your 3rd finger is just going to stay on the 3rd fret of the B, 3rd fret in relation to the capo, of course, and that's going to be there for all the chords, so just you can notice that. So first I would just practice this. Once you're on this thing, the finger picking pattern is going to go thumb going between E and D, index on G, middle on B. Some people do these kind of finger picking patterns and just use their index. I like to use index and middle. And then the pattern becomes this: thumb, 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 index, thumb, middle. Thumb, 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 index, thumb, middle. Okay? In the very beginning of the song, it's actually kind of weird. It starts as if it's like midway through the pattern. It kind of starts with... it's a very subtle difference, but you could just start with a... Then it goes to a C chord. All you have to do is move this second finger from the 3rd fret on the low E to the 3rd fret on the A. And now this right hand pattern is going to change because it's now going to be the thumb going between A and D, and then also the index and middle swap. So this is true in this whole song. On pretty much every chord, it's going thumb, 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 index, thumb, middle. But on the C, it goes thumb, 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 middle, thumb, index. So it switches it up. So instead of that, dum, dum, it's dum, dum. The other thing is every time on the C, so your second finger has moved to the 3rd fret on the A, your first finger hammers on to the 2nd fret on the D. So your thumb plucks the A string, then your thumb plucks the D string, and the first finger of the left hand hammers on. So to put that together with the G, that happens a lot in the song, so if you get good at that, that hammer on deal. Okay, so G to C, then it goes back to the G. Now, the next chord it's going to go to after the G is E minor, and there's a thing that it does on the G every time it's going to E minor, which is a few times, quite a few times, once in the verse, and then every time it goes to the chorus it does it. It's going to go like this. So it starts off as a regular G pattern. Now, what would be the beginning of like the next time through the G pattern, first finger of the left hand hammers onto the 2nd fret on the A, so that means the thumb has to move to the A. So hammer on the 2nd fret on the A, then thumb immediately goes to the D, then middle, so hammer on there, D, middle on the B, then now thumb down to the low E, and your second finger back where it was, then index on the G, then first finger on the 2nd fret of the low E. So this is like, it's walking down from the G to the E minor. So thumb, 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 index, thumb, middle, thumb on the A string, first finger hammers on to the 2nd fret on the A string, thumb on the D, middle on the B, thumb on the low E, index on the G, first finger on the 2nd fret of the low E. So the pattern gets broken up in a couple ways. You switch the MA, the middle and index again, and then also your thumb ends up going like... So hopefully that makes sense. Then you're on the E minor. Again, E minor is going to have the 3rd fret on the B with the 3rd finger, which technically makes it an E minor 7. Same picking pattern as on the G. Thumb going between the E and D, index on the index first. Back to the C, same trick on the C. Now, this is where the intro and the verse are different. In the intro now, it goes to this chord, which is like a G over B, first finger on the second fret of the A, third finger still on the third fret on the B. Just do this one regular, with the thumb going between A and D. And then it goes straight to this chord, which we haven't done yet, which is, this is the D chord in this song, but it's like a D over F sharp. So first finger on the second fret of the low E, second finger on the second fret of the G, third finger on the third fret of the B as always. And this thumb is between the E and the D. And it's that old pattern again, and it does that twice. So whole intro, that hammer-on thing, a regular G, now this weird thing where it goes, walks down, now E minor, C, same thing, this G over B, and this D over F sharp. Now the verse is going to start the same. Now this is different than the intro. Now it goes from the C right to that D. Now it hangs out on the G for 2 measures. C, which does this again. Back to the G for 1 measure. C again, that to the D, to the G. And now it does this. Okay, does that make sense? Every time you do C, you do it that way. Thumb on the A, first finger hammers on the second fret on the D, back to the A, middle, thumb, index. And then the G thing, this is the other hard thing, it's like this thing. So regular time on the G, hammer on the second fret on the A, thumb plays the D, middle on the B, thumb on the low E, index on the G, thumb on the low E, and the first finger on the second fret of the low E. And like I said, that's every time it goes from G to E minor, which includes the end of the verse, which goes to the chorus, which goes E minor, C, G, D, E minor, C, hangs on the C a little bit longer, G, D, E minor, C, G, D. End of the first chorus goes back to the intro. Same kind of thing as the intro. End of the second chorus goes into this like bridge that leads into the end. I always have and I always will. So this is going in between the C and that G over B, which is the one with the first finger on the second fret of the A, third finger where it always is. This pattern is always going to stay now with the A and D. I started sort of mixing it up. I think the index and middle might get like a little more active in this part, but there's more going on in the recording, so it's hard to totally hear. And the rhythm of this is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, so it does that a couple times. And it's now longer. Now a G. Now a new chord. This is like an A7 sus4, first finger on the second fret of the D, third finger where it always is. Same kind of thing, you're on this for 3 beats, back through the G over B, and that brings you right back to the C to G over B thing. And now it does this 4 times. Again. So the whole bridge again goes out of the second chorus. G for full measure, weird A chord for 3 beats, back through the G over B, now that same thing you were doing, of going from C to G over B. And after 4 times, instrumental chorus. On the C. Okay, let me know if I messed anything up or if you have any questions. Thank you.